Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm here for a quick stitching update, and I'm also going to go through the neutrals bin of my fabric stash. The colors bin was pretty popular, so I'm going to try this today. It's a gloomy day in Cincinnati, and I had a thought that maybe the lack of sun would be better for the neutrals, and I did a test run. I think it's going to work. So let me show you what I've been working on. I've had a lot of progress on this piece in the last couple days. This is the Primrose Needleworks Autumn in New York. And this is as far as I have gotten. So all I have left to do is build the rest of this bridge, and actually most of it's done. You just can't see the little, there you go. Those little 712s don't show up very well, but there's some little flags, American flags, that go on the top of that bridge. And then I have a tree to finish. So I have these little tiny flags and a tree. I'm not going to put these stars. There's a lot of things with this pattern that don't make sense to me. One is it's autumn in New York, but a lot of the colors are not fall colors. Like that grass is bright green. I'm going to try and turn the light on just for this part and see if it makes it a little bit better, and then turn it off for the fabric. So let's see if this helps. Okay, can you see this better? Yeah. So that grass is bright green. The flowers are kind of spring flowers. The leaves are somewhat green but also changing colors. And then we've got the fall trees, which I love those little orange fall trees. They're so stinking cute. But then the stars. So I'm assuming that this is the sun. So then you wouldn't have stars out at the same time as the sun. And if that's the moon, you wouldn't have these shadows. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking it. But anyways, I'm not doing the stars. So here's where I am. Okay. I'm hoping to finish that today. And then I started this one. I haven't really made any final decisions, but I started this one that I talked about last time, Luminous Fiber Arts, A Raven's Reply. I'm stitching this on Dixie Sampler Scarecrow. I think last time I called it something else, but it's called Scarecrow. And so before, I wasn't sure which black to use, so I started with the Old Crow. No, that's a lie. I started with the Gentle Arts Cast Iron Skillet. I did one leg of the crow, and then I did Old Crow by Classic Colorworks, and I did one leg of the crow. I think I like the muted one better. Then I started with one of the greens. It's not very much, just enough to say I started it. And I picked the Dried Thyme, and I'm not sure about that, but I do like the oranges. So I'm just going to keep going with the pumpkin. And actually, I switched a couple of the oranges. So I'm using the ones that she called for, but I changed which colors get used where. So the pumpkin is Fragrant Cloves and Bittersweet. Both are Gentle Arts. But I'm not sure about this green, so I think I'm just going to keep stitching the pumpkin, and then once I have more of the pumpkin, because I'm for sure on those colors, I'll go back and pick for sure which green and which black fit the pattern best. I kind of felt bad because the few people that did give their opinion on which green was going to be best picked the the Color and Cotton bright green, and I didn't pick that one. Yet. We're not done. So we'll see. So I'm going to try and finish that Autumn in New York today, and then maybe stitch a little bit more on this, and then I want to dive back into my current stash and see what's up next for getting some of these projects done. Okay, that's it as far as stitching. Purchases. I have a purchase. I had mentioned, I think I mentioned when I was going to do this, that my favorite black to use is Gentle Arts Carriage Black. And nobody has it. And Gentle Arts is in Ohio, and we are shut down. Non-essentials are shut down until Friday now, May 1st. Some dates were given on Monday. But anyway, so Gentle Arts hasn't been able to produce their threads, and so I kind of panicked that I wasn't ever going to be able to get Carriage Black, and I don't even need to use it for this one because I found something else that works. So I called Barbara at Keepsakes, and she said that they actually did have Carriage Black. They had a few skeins. What they were out of is what's all called for in all the new patterns. So she said, how many do you need? And I said, well, I don't really need. I'm hoarding. So I bought 2 skeins of Carriage Black and forgot to bring them down here. It's a nice faded prim gray black. It's got some brown in it. I'll insert some pictures here. How's that? Okay, so let's go through the neutrals. Full disclosure, before I did this bin, which this bin is just as big as the other one, I went through and took out things that everybody has access to. Like, I'm not going to show my white. I'm not going to show all the different ivories that I have because they're all ivory. And I took out all of the fabrics that I don't know what they are. Because if I can't tell you what it is, it's not fair to show it because then you can't go get it. Right? Right. So, let me show these fabrics. That's it for stitching, and so if you don't want to see the fabric stash, then bye. Okay, I have 2 Luganas. Actually, I'm going to leave this light on because I think it'll be okay. These are the ones I tested, and they're pretty accurate. So this is 32 count dark cobblestone Lugana. And this is 28 count wheat Lugana. Those are good neutrals. I found that when I went through my neutrals, I had some of these fabrics that could also go in the colors bin, like this picture, this plush brash. Technically, I guess, is a neutral because it's brown, but it's got so much color into it, I could put it in the other bin. So I think I probably have some brash in there. No, because I didn't show you any. Anyways, this is picture this plus brash. This is 32 count. This is good for Halloween. This is good for any kind of prim sampler. It's maybe a little bit darker in person, but that's pretty accurate. I'm going to turn the light off and see if it makes a difference. Okay, let's try it with the light off. This next one is picture this plus Regency. It's kind of a greenish. There you go, you can see it there. So kind of a white background with a mottled green. This is, and that's a, what is that? That's a 32 count. Most of mine are 32 count. This next one is 32 count Tycho, which doesn't, it's maybe got a little bit of peach modeling to it. It's really hard to see the modeling. This isn't just that the lighting isn't working. It's really hard in real life to see it. It just kind of looks like a white fabric that's dirty. So that's Tycho. I showed this one a couple episodes ago. This is 32 count Bramble. This is much better than the other video because it's got a lot of pink in it. So it's kind of got some browny gray, but it's definitely a pink background. 32 count Bramble. Next up is 32 count Legacy. This is my favorite neutral, I think, of all of Picture This Plus. I've used this before. It's just kind of a nice, muted, I don't know what's going on with that big blank piece there. There. But then I also have a 36 count piece. And they look somewhat different. Like this one is much more green than this one. This is what I typically think of when I think Legacy by Picture This Plus. But this is 36 and this is 32. So some of it could be dye lots, but some of it could be the size of the fabric. And then this is 36 count Wren, which I like as well, but looks a lot different. So Wren, both Legacies, but this one's 36 and this one's 32. I just used this for a piece for that Sister Suffragette. I use 32, no, 36. I like it a lot. Okay, here's doubloon. It's kind of an orangey neutral. It's a little bit more orange in real life than you're seeing. Nope, that looks too brown. This one's not showing up real well, but it's more of an orange. There, maybe that's a little bit accurate. Neutral, like a dark, I don't know how to describe it. It looks more orange than it does on the screen in real life. And then this is 36 count sand. It's kind of, I mean, it looks like sand, kind of a little bit pink. Hold it up next to the doubloon. This is 36. 36. About 36 count sand and doubloon. They're both a little bit pinky. This one's like pinky orange and this one's orange. Sand and doubloon. And then this is a 32 count piece of ale. Picture this plus ale, which I know I showed in the other bin, but it's so dark I consider it in the colors bin, but technically it's probably a neutral. Okay, that's all the picture this plus. Next is a pile that I think I tried to separate out my Lakeside linen and my R&R reproductions, but I think I have some mixed in with this third stack. Yes, there's a third stack. Let me see if I can grab a couple pieces real quick. See, that's R&R, R&R, R&R. Maybe I didn't separate it out. Okay, let's just start. This is, a lot of these I got from In Stitches when my sister lived in the DC area because they have a lot of R&R and Lakeside linens that they stock. Okay, so this is R&R vintage. Wonder what that says. That's what it says. Vintage gray. It's a really pretty gray. It's pretty neutral, but it's gray. Meaning it doesn't have any modeling. Sorry, I don't think that I usually think of modeling when I think of R&R or Lakeside linen. They just have a lot of different shades is better. So that's a very pretty gray. That could go on anything. That's really pretty. Okay. Oh, something's got out of order because this is not what I thought it was. Here's some Lakesides. Let's put these back there. This is 32 count vintage light exemplar by Lakeside Linen. This is one of the ones I first started using when I first started using hand-dyed fabrics. So this is very pretty. It does have a little bit of modeling in it because it's the vintage. They also have light exemplar and just exemplar. So for example, this is 32 count exemplar. This is exemplar. There's a little bit of modeling, huh? And this vintage exemplar, sorry, vintage exemplar, vintage light exemplar. I love these. Love these. Okay, let's put these back so I don't get them mixed up. The next one I had these better. This one's a Lakeside. Lakeside Linen Tarnished Silver. Yep, it's showing up really well. It's a bit of a dark gray. This is the, what we think we're calling vintage gray. And this is tarnished silver. This is 32 and this is 32. Yep. Lots of grays. Somebody commented on my last video that they didn't have any idea that there were so many grays. Oh yes, lots of grays. This is Lakeside Linen 32 count navy bean. I really like this color. I don't know how to describe it. It's showing up a little bit lighter on the screen, but it's pretty accurate. Navy bean. It's just got a little bit more color to it than, say, like a parchment or a flax, but still pretty neutral. No problem. This one, I think this is a Lakeside Linen. This is Plum Street Paddock, 32 count Plum Street Paddock. And it's kind of a gray, but it has a purple undertone to me. That looks blue. How about over here? Still kind of showing up blue. I don't know why I bought this. I do know I bought a lot of these when I would go visit my sister and go to InStitches. I would just buy a few pieces of things that I liked just to kind of see what their color variations were, because I couldn't see a lot of it at my own shop. Oh, this is more Lakeside Linen. This is 32 count Flagstone. Lakeside Linen, 32 count Flagstone. And this is a nice dark gray. So if I compare that to Lakeside Linen, so this is, what did I say it was? Flagstone, tarnish gray, and what we're calling vintage gray. Yeah, I can stop buying gray fabric. It's probably time. And then there's one more piece in here, and this is 36 count Lakeside Vintage Pearled Barley. This is maybe a little bit green. Let me hold it up against the navy bean. Navy bean? Yeah, so navy bean, vintage pearl barley. Okay. That should be all of the Lakeside. Should be. All right, here's just some random stuff. This is fabric I bought from Not Forgotten Farm, I believe on her Etsy site a long time ago. It's a 32 count, but it doesn't have a name on it. That's yummy, and it's a stiff fabric. I don't mind the stiff fabric. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it is a pretty stiff one if you've not bought her fabrics before. That's pretty. This next one is another one by Stitches and Spice. They were an Australian company. They're no longer dying. This is called Gravestone. This is 36 count Gravestone. And it kind of looks like that Tycho. It just kind of looks like a dirty, like somebody got white linen dirty. So, even though you can't get this one, Tycho might be a good stand-in if you're looking for something that looks like someone got white linen dirty. It actually kind of looks like some of these where I can see the modeling and you're not, well, maybe you can. Looks kind of like the moon, like when you have a full moon and you can see the modeling in the moon. That's what this reminds me of. All right, and then this, I don't know who makes this. This is 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana, and it's kind of a bluish gray. Looks kind of white. It's not white. Hold up something white. Yeah, it's a little bit more blue than in what's showing up. Does that make it any better? Sorry. Doing my best. I think a sunny day would really have been a bad idea. I think it would have washed everything out. So this is probably as good as it's going to get. Okay. All those are done. Okay. This is another Chromatic Alchemy that I bought a long time ago and never used. This is 32 count Opalescent, and it's called Dune. And it kind of reminds me of, it's a little orangey brown like Doubloon, but it's got the opalescent in it. So that'd be fun for Halloween. Uh-oh, this bag is moving. Okay. I'll do it later. So we don't have the crinkling. I'll just slide it right there and do it later. All right, these are R&R reproductions. This is 30 count mink. And their fabric is really stiff. Okay, mink. This is 35 count R&R 18th Century Brown. Here's the mink. Hold on, let me turn my phone off. I don't know what the problem is. Work. It's not supposed to be at work. It's work. Okay. This one is This is, I think this is parchment. Yeah, it's not worth showing because you're not going to be able to see it. Parchment, I think. Okay, more R&R, 36 count Liberty Gathering Gray. And I bought this, and I bought another piece because I got this at Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, Arkansas, and they had 2 different die lots, and I bought a piece of both. So both of these are 36 count Liberty Gathering Gray. Same thing, totally different colors. This one is 36, oh no, 35, oh, more mink. Oh, that looks very different than, oh, but this is 30 count. This is 36 count, or 35 count, whatever I said. Very different. This is 32 count. I don't know who that is. This is 35 count R&R Espresso. .36 count R&R Weathered Shingle. Ooh, that's pretty. I don't know how to compare that to, we'll compare it to the mink and the Liberty Gathering Gray. So it's just a bit lighter. It's pretty. All right, 32 count R&R Fog Lifter Blend. I think I showed this in one of my other videos. I just never said what it was called. Here's the mink. Yeah, that's mink. Mink, Fog Lifter Blend. Fabulous. Okay, this is R&R Creme Brulee, 32 count. It's a little yellow, maybe. That's a good shot of it. This next one is 30 count R&R Irish Cream. They don't look all that different. I also bought a piece of R&R Irish Cream on eBay when I was looking for the perfect piece for something for my sister, and I got this. I don't know if it's just that bad of a different dye lot or if it was mislabeled. This is 32 count R&R Irish Cream. This is also supposed to be Irish Cream. This is, that's a good picture of it right there. Not for me. I prefer this. And that's the creme brulee. I don't know. All right, is this my last R&R? This is Old Town Blend. That's Billy. Can you hear Billy? He has a little foam soccer ball, and he carries it around and cries to it. And then he'll drop it down the basement steps and chase it and bring it up while he's crying at it. Okay, sorry. So this is R&R 36 count Old Town Blend. This is creme brulee. And we're going to go with this as the real Irish Cream. Oh dear. So they're kind of similar, huh? The Old Town Blend and the creme brulee look a lot alike. But then when you hold up the Irish Cream. Okay. Nope. More R&R. 32 count, 18th century Blackbird. Ooh, that's pretty. It's really gray. Ooh, that's really pretty. Don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I'm keeping that one. 36 count Nantucket Brew. That's a nice gray too. Okay, that's it. I'm done with grays. I found all my favorite grays. So that's 18th century Blackbird, Nantucket Brew. It just like makes me rethink everything that I've ever thought about putting on this kind of a neutral. This color. Okay. Those are all of the R&Rs. Okay, so this is just some random Zweigart 32 count taupe. This is 32 count Belfast Flax. Flax. Taupe. This is 32 count raw gold. have taken out the other one. There's another opalescent that's not gold. It's like the kind of like that rainbowy color. I didn't realize there was a difference when I bought it. I don't care for that kind of opalescent, so I may have taken that one out. This is 32 count Witchelt Champagne. It's kind of got a little bit of a green tone to it. You can see it in there. Oh, here we go. This is flax. So this probably is parchment. Both Zweigart flax, parchment. .32 count broomstick by XJU Design. That's pretty. It does have a little bit of purple color to it, but it's a gray, like a gray purple. Okay, this is Fabrics by Stephanie. Toasted almond. I think I showed this one already. That's a good one. Fabrics by Stephanie. 36 count almond. Oh, hear him, he's chasing it. So both toasted almond. This is 32, this is 36. Okay, and then this is 32 count Winter Wishes. I bought this thinking it was going to be the perfect gray, but it has a lot of blue to it. Well, there it looks pretty gray. Winter Wishes by Fabrics by Stephanie. As we've seen, I have all of the grays in the world, all the perfect grays. I don't need to keep looking. I'll find something for that. Okay, what's left? This is, oh, this is another R&R. This is Patriot Brew. Some of these, it's really hard to tell the difference. Like if they weren't labeled, I might think that they were all the same. So Patriot Brew, Liberty Gathering Gray, Weathered Shingle. Okay, what's in this bag? This is 35 count Weeks Dye Works Parchment. Everybody, that's a really orange parchment. I thought that was straw at first. 32 count Stormy Night. That's pretty. I think this is one of those printed ones. Yeah, the back's not printed. That's a nice gray. I gotta start using all these grays. What's this? This is, I think I showed this from the colors box because I have another piece of this. The sticker on here says generously donated by, I don't know where I got this. Generously donated by Weeks Dye Works 30 count straw. Oh, this is straw. So that's straw, and this is Weeks parchment. Okay, holy cow, the amount of fabric is a little obnoxious. Okay, this is some more XJU Design. This is 40 count Little Bunny. Oh, there we go. And this is 36 count Little Bunny. Really different. I'm not sure what I think about either one. I bought this because I wanted to try her 40 count, and I wanted a neutral, but this is really, really pink, like a pinky brown. So, I don't know. Okay, and then the rest of this are just some scraps. So that's it. That's the bulk of my neutrals box. Okay, so the last thing is I'm going to give a couple pieces of fabric away because I know I'm not going to use them. So last time I showed this big piece of Sky, Weeks Dye Works Sky. This is either 30 or 32 count. I don't know for sure because I didn't write it on here, but I know this is either 30 or 32. And it's a big piece. So if you want the Weeks Dye Works Sky, tell me what you would stitch on the Sky fabric. That's the first giveaway. The second giveaway is this so-called 32 count R&R Irish cream. And it's an 18 by 27. It's this piece. That's probably what the other piece is 18 by 27. It's a neutral. Ooh, that's good. It's kind of, I don't know. I feel like I always say pinky, but I don't know if pink is really the undertone. But this is not for me. So if you would like this piece of fabric, tell me what you would stitch on Irish cream linen. And then the third one, there's 4. The third one is this little piece of 32 count ice blue fabric that I got as a freebie. It's opalescent. It's a good ornament size. It's from XJU Design. I got as a freebie with something else I ordered and I'm not going to use it. So if you would like the ice blue fabric, tell me what you would stitch on the ice blue fabric. And then the fourth one is this weird mystery fabric that I don't know what it is. It's something Zweigart because you can see the orange salvage. It's 32. It's either 32 or 36. If you need to know before you enter, ask me and I'll measure it. It's a decent size. Let's get it. Nope, none of those are good representations. That's a good representation of it. So if you'd like to enter for this one, tell me what you would stitch on the mystery linen. So we have sky linen, Irish cream linen, ice blue linen, mystery fabric. I think that's all I have. Life updates. As of May 1st, which is tomorrow, we can go back to full steam, is what our licensing board told us as far as appointments and surgeries. We've been limiting things to necessary needs only. We are still going to keep our building locked and have clients drop their pets off with us while they wait in the parking lot. Where none of us is ready to have people in the building. We also have to work at 50% of our fire code capacity, and that's going to limit us as well, and I'm fine with that. So that's life updates. Baby birds updates. There are 5. The general consensus on Instagram is that they were wren. There are 2 adults that feed them. We've seen 2 different adults alternate coming in and out to feed those babies. I have a little video that I can insert here, but it's hard to get them because of how the nest is angled. So I'll let you see them, but you can't see them very well. I guess that's it. Okay, bye.